A party turns into a crime scene, and tonight a San Fernando Valley family tries to cope with the loss of a beloved son.
And police continue to search for the killer. CBS2's Jeff Witt is live at Encino, and he's been speaking to the victim's grieving family. Jeff.
Peter and Jasmine, tonight a man is in the hospital following a shooting right in front of his home. It happened right there where you can see broken glass on the ground. And now a second family says it is shattered following a deadly attack.
There's no gangs, no nothing.
For Guillermo and Teresa Hernandez, this Mother's Day is filled with sorrow after their son's violent death.
He was a nice man, handsome man, nice boy.
The couple wanted to see the spot where 28-year-old Guillermo Hernandez was shot and killed. He had been at a party at this Encino home. Neighbors say a fight broke out early Sunday morning after the homeowners asked uninvited guests to leave. One of them left and came back with a gun. Hernandez's parents say he was waiting for an Uber ride when he was attacked.
And I say, hey, be careful, don't drink. If you drink, don't drive.
The home belongs to a couple in their 60s with 2 adult children. Neighbors say it was the father who broke up the party around midnight. Police say the homeowner was also shot in front of his house. This is video of Hernandez celebrating his birthday last October. His girlfriend says he worked for a catering company that served TV and movie productions.
I'm definitely going to miss him. I loved him so much.
Hernandez's parents say they don't know if he was involved in the fight that led up to the shooting. They say he was the middle child among 3 sons who followed his father's footsteps to become a chef.
I'm destroyed. I don't know. What can I do?
Tonight, the homeowner who was shot is in the hospital in critical condition. In the meantime, police tell us no one has been arrested, although partygoers say there were a number of witnesses to that shooting. Peter, Jasmine.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Check out what a bus driver managed to avoid on a Southland freeway.
Wow.
A dangerous close call with the wrong-way driver.
Those headlights, crazy. CBS2's Christy Fajardo now live in La Mirada. Christy, where you talked to that quick-thinking driver.
I sure did. He tells me he has worked for M Coach. That's the bus company here for about 2 years. He says he's driven that route many, many times. And over the years, he has seen reckless drivers, even street racing, but never anything like this. First headlights, then this, a close call with a wrong-way driver. What the dash cam video doesn't show is the terror Gabriel Anica and his passengers felt.
He must have missed my door by about that much. He just flew by, and I was like, wow.
At about 2 a.m. Friday, Anica was behind the wheel of the M-Coach bus heading to La Mirada from Pachanga with 30 passengers, many of them regulars.
Most of them were asleep.
That's when he noticed headlights racing towards him on the 91 freeway.
I mean, he was flying. He must have been going 90.
In slow motion, watch. Anica swerved, but the wrong-way driver swerved in the same direction. Then look closely. Anica swerved again. That red is the taillight of the car.
At the last second, I hold that steering wheel tight because I knew he was going to hit me.
Inside the bus, he says, passengers were jolted awake.
Some of them were yelling, screaming because I guess they figured I fell asleep.
Over the years, he had planned out how he'd react in different situations.
Reflex experience.
Now his bosses believe he's a hero for keeping his wits. But Anica says he's come to know and care about his regular passengers.
And to me, they're like family.
And was just thinking he had to get them home to their families.
You know, I'm responsible for these people. And so I feel like I had to do what I had to do. Thank God I reacted the way I did.
Anica's bosses say they notified the CHP about the wrong-way driver, but were told that by the CHP that they were not able to locate that person. It does appear, however, that wrong-way driver got off the highway without hitting anyone. So there's that. Back to you.
Crazy story, Christy. Thanks. A nightmare this Mother's Day for a Long Beach mom. Her 15-year-old son was killed in South L.A. CBS2's Lori Paris reports the teen's family and friends are now looking for answers as police look for suspects.
For a mother to lose a child on any day, but especially on Mother's Day,
Y'all took my son's life. He was only 15 years old.
Shanae Moore could barely speak of her son. But at a vigil at the spot where she says he was shot Sunday morning, so many others wanted to tell us about 15-year-old Lemarian Upchurch, a freshman at Long Beach's Cabrillo High. His football teammates gave us these pictures and smiled remembering him.
He was aggressive, fast. He knew what he was doing.
And in the locker room, he was a beloved guy?
Man, that boy played around too much.
But where he really made his mark, on the dance floor. An icon from the world of the renowned Tommy the Clown dance group, this is video of Lil BZ, as he was known, entertaining as he did almost every weekend at events around LA. All of the little kids who came to this vigil, fans from his birthday party appearances. Brody the Clown says he was always with him on and off the dance floor.
It was a dynamic duo.
More brothers than friends, he and the rest of the dance team are now a family in mourning.
You can never stay mad at him. He was a happy person. It's just like, he's an intelligent boy.
From now on, with the clown world, I'ma just do everything for him. Like, this is what he loves.
Upchurch's loved ones say he was with 3 other boys on the way home when this happened. They say 2 of the other boys were also shot and remain in the hospital tonight. They also say they have video of the shooting that the suspects posted on social media. We have seen the video, but so far have been unable to confirm what exactly it shows with LAPD. In South LA, I'm Lori Perez, CBS 2 News.
And now to an unusual hit and run. A 24-year-old man was killed on Orange Grove Avenue in Pomona, as police say 2 vehicles may have hit him, but he may not have been standing or even walking in the street when he was hit.
Typically, if you're standing, there'll be some type of debris field, lenses of headlights, windshield, glass, etc. We haven't found any of that.
Police admit there is a chance that neither driver even knew they ran a person over. But they say if they realize it now, if they see damage to their car, they are asked, of course, to call police.
A group of off-duty Marines was in the right place at the right time. They helped a hiker having a medical emergency today. A man on the Switzer Falls Trail north of Altadena started to have chest pains. He used his personal locator beacon to alert authorities. Some Camp Pendleton Marines were hiking nearby. It carried him up the steep terrain. A search and rescue team met those Marines and took the man to the hospital.
And today, lava started spewing out of a 17th crack on Hawaii's Big Island. Also, the lava level dropped in the center of the Kilauea volcano, and that has some people there bracing for what could be an explosive eruption. CBS 2's Carter Evans is there on the Big Island.
The new eruptions follow the same path of destruction along the eastern rift of the volcano. Lava started flowing again Saturday when a fissure spontaneously opened up after 2 days with almost no activity. But this time, the eruptions are in a sparsely populated area.
We had to hike a little bit to see this latest fissure. We brought our gas masks, but we don't need them right now because the wind is going in the other direction. You can see it blowing the steam and gases that way. If you listen closely, you can hear it venting. It almost sounds like something is breathing over there.
By nightfall, there were flames and an orange glow from the lava making its way to the surface.
It's becoming more vulnerable, definitely, as the activity creeps closer to that area and possibly shuts off all the roads.
There is also still concern at the main crater near the volcano's summit, where conditions may soon be right for an explosive steam eruption.
Which means that bigger materials can be blasted out of the vent, and immediately around the vent, a little farther out, half a mile out or so, it could be pebble size or marble size fragments. Then even farther out, there could be a lot of ash fall.
Carter Evans, CBS 2 News.
In Indonesia, police say a family of suicide bombers attacked 3 churches. Investigators say the father exploded a car bomb. Then 2 sons, ages 16 and 18, used a motorbike in their attack. And the mother with 2 young girls wore explosive devices in their attack. In all, 13 people died. Dozens more were wounded. ISIS claimed responsibility.
Just hours from now, the new U.S. Embassy opens in Jerusalem after being moved from Tel Aviv. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is praising President Trump as Israelis celebrate. The Palestinians plan more protests after weeks of unrest. Palestinians and Israelis both claim the holy city as their capital. The embassy move fulfills a Trump campaign promise.
Searching for a sexual predator coming up.
Plus, bizarre ingredients that could be in your food.
It's made from bladders of bony fish.
Say what? Bug parts and more. You won't believe what we discovered in some common foods you eat.
Plus, a data breach at a popular restaurant chain. Is your credit card at risk? Amber.
And here's a live look with our Santa Monica Pier camera after an unseasonably cool weekend. I'll let you know when the warm-up will begin.